All right, so let's move on to Smash Bros. For the 3DS and the Wii U. So what we're going to try to do is kind of mesh the conversation together. We'll talk about the differences between both games and whatnot. But I guess to start, what were your thoughts on, instead of having like a Smash Dojo website, this time we had a lot of Smash Directs, of course, regular Nintendo Directs, and general announcements. What were your thoughts about how they went with bringing hype to this game?
Well, okay, so if at the time of Brawl I was just kind of getting into the whole, actively following a game's progress and all the announcements and stuff, then by Smash Bros. For 3DS, which is not that long ago, it was 2 years, I was pretty heavily into following Nintendo, following gaming online, knowing all sorts of stuff that happens. So it wasn't quite as big a deal to me just because it wasn't the first time that this had happened. I was kind of used to following games by now. But it's still another Smash Bros. Games. The thing about Smash Bros. Games is they don't come out often. You don't even hear about like new ones being announced, for a long time after the game comes out. No one talks about, there's lots of speculation, but they don't like announce. They didn't announce Brawl right after Melee came out. That was years before we got an announcement. So, yeah, I mean, really cool. That first trailer was awesome. Nintendo really knows how to do it. But what was really cool about the lead up to Smash 4 collectively was all of the reveal trailers they did. The individual character trailers that they had for each of the new characters. Every new character got some sort of crazy trailer. There were a lot of them, and they were highly produced. The Fire Emblem one looked amazing, and just the original hype of the first one where it was Mega Man and
Yep.
Wii Fit Trainer and Animal Crossing Villager, I believe were the first three.
If it wasn't for that trailer, I wouldn't be where I am right now on YouTube.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know if you knew this. I know some people know, but
I know.
I made a reaction video for. It's the first time I'd ever made a reaction video in my life. I was like, all right, I guess I'll just record myself watching the E3 2013 press conference. And then the Smash commercial, the Smash trailer. Holy crap. Like, I was super psyched. I'm sure, as all of you know, I freaked out, started crying when I saw Mega Man, because literally 3 seconds before Mega Man was announced, I thought in my brain randomly, what if Mega Man was in this game? And there he was. Right there. So I thank that trailer very much. But yeah, like after the trailer, the following Smash Directs, especially that 50 fact extravaganza Smash Direct.
Oh yeah, that happened
really,
very
really
late.
exciting.
Yeah, that happened very late, right before the game was going to come out. And yeah, just really cool. Not as cool as it's, I don't know, different scopes. Like it's cool to have like these trailers for individual characters and stuff. That's amazing. That's well beyond what they did for Brawl. But at the same time, like the day-to-day announcements for Smash 4 were not as exciting as Brawl because of what they did with the website, because versus Smash 4 where it was just here's a picture on Miiverse that might be something stupid or it might be a reveal. They did reveal some stuff that way. But yeah, I mean that's how I feel about it. Very exciting, very awesome. Anything else to say about the hype?
I guess I just kind of thought what's interesting about the Smash 4 phase of it, being revealed in Brawl, is that for Brawl, it felt like, okay, this is for me. But for Smash 4, the internet was really becoming a thing. Everyone was really becoming interconnected.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like it was just me getting excited. I felt like there was a huge community of people, millions of people. I could actually see them all for once. Like, I don't know how people feel about this guy, but Etika, he is one of the main reasons why so many people, I think, got incredibly hyped for Smash.
Well, you mentioned it twice now, but this was like the YouTube age. Like, I mean, okay, so the first Smash, YouTube was, or sorry, not the first one. For Brawl, YouTube was a thing by then. Actually, probably Brawl came out around the time I started my channel, but this was when YouTube is what it is now. YouTube was a giant thing. We're only talking 2 years ago. I don't know. I feel like we're talking about it like it's like 10 years ago, but it is what it is currently. It's the same thing, and it's the first Smash game where social media was that big. So yeah, I mean, not just Etika, not just your reaction video, but just tons of tons of reaction videos, tons of uploads of these reactions to all of these trailers. Like, you mentioned earlier, Game Explain did like a weekly discussion on like the Miiverse post. There was just a lot of, it was different from the way they did it with Brawl, but there was still a lot of information coming from Nintendo fairly frequently. Not every day, but like, they did a good job spacing out the release of each of these character trailers, and it was hype. It was exciting.
It's really too bad that the Wii U didn't perform better, because I feel like this game could have sold so much better in the end if there were more units for Wii U. And 3DS is fine, but yeah, I guess let's start with Smash 3DS, since that's the first thing that came out. What did you first think when you played that game?
Well, there was the demo. And
oh yeah, yep.
It was so cool because the demo had Villager and Mega Man, right?
Had Mega Man,
and it had like Mario and Link and Pikachu or whatever. There was like 5 or so characters, and it was just so cool. I remember I played it in school. Like I brought it, I downloaded it, and I was just playing it. Like, oh man, like to get my hands on this. They've never done a Smash demo before. I mean, I'm sure at like E3, but not a downloadable one. Brawl didn't have that. But just to have it in my hands after all this hype, it was unreal. Like completely unreal to just be holding this game after so much anticipation. Because, I was anticipating it since Brawl came out, and then since they announced it, and then since all the trailers, and then since all the hype and all this and all that, and to finally just have something in my hands that I could play, it was, I don't know, it was just like unbelievable. It was great. It was so cool to have the demo. Then
it felt surreal.
Yeah, and then when the full game came out, it was nuts. It was so much fun. Me and my 2 friends, we played it. My log time, I actually checked this, 143 hours on that game. My second most played game, right under Pokemon X.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of hours on a 3DS game. But yeah, we loved it because not only was this the first one coming out in the YouTube age, but it's the first Smash game with a legitimate online, with an online that worked. And I've got my gaming buddies, my group, and we just played the heck out of it. We were so excited, for the Wii U version, and so excited for this game to come out. We just played it like crazy. And the first character I made was Palutena, which I can't play for beans now, but I had a lot of fun with her giant wall of light she can make, and using the wind box to push people off, and she was a lot of fun to play with. But yeah, I mean, it was just, it was really cool, but I guess the other thing I'll say is that it did, at the same time, feel like a filler experience, in that it was to tide us over for Smash Wii U, which I'll talk about more when we talk about Smash Wii U. But as much fun as it was, and we had a lot of fun playing it, there was this feeling that we're waiting for the real game. How about you when playing Smash for 3DS?
Yeah, really, really similar experiences. I remember playing it for the first time. I actually had a friend over, and I felt so bad. I'm like, oh, I just got Smash for 3DS, and I know you're over, but I'm just going to play it. And he didn't have a 3DS or the game.
Aww.
So, like, we were chatting and hanging out and stuff, but, like, I wasn't really paying attention. I was like, oh my God, I finally have this game after 2 or 3 years of waiting for this damn game. And it came out, and I played through all the stages, right away, all the characters. And I was actually a little disappointed. My first disappointment with that game was how easy it was to unlock the characters. Like, it took like no effort at all.
Yeah.
But besides the point, it was a ton of fun. I couldn't believe how well the game actually played on the 3DS. I thought it was going to be really clunky, but no, it turned out to actually be pretty fun. It's actually a friend of mine. Before he took Smash 4 really seriously, he actually used to play the Wii U version with his 3DS controller. Because,
wow.
Yeah, that's how much he liked it.
Wow.
Like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, this was before the new 3DS came out. I mean, I have the new 3DS, you know what I'm talking about, the new one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know, some people
the most confusing thing in 10 years.
The new Nintendo XL. I have that now, and it doesn't really make much of a difference having the little nub there. But yeah, I mean, honestly,
yeah,
it's not perfect, and I would much rather play with the GameCube controller. but for what it is, it does work surprisingly well. So before we really move on to talking about like in Smash Bros. 4 in general or Wii U, the thing unique to the 3DS was the Smash Run. What do you think about Smash Run?
Oh God, I love Smash Run. You know, I had no problem playing Smash Run with every single character.
Really?
Unlike Adventure Mode and Melee, I loved Smash Run. Like I played that mode with every character within like a week probably.
Wow.
I just thought it was the coolest thing. I really wish that mode was in the Wii U version because I feel like they could have really expanded on it more and done more with it. But
we could talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. Yeah. But yeah, Smash Run is still a joy. Like I think if I haven't actually played Smash for 3DS in a while, but if I were to pick it up again sometime soon, I'd probably just play Smash Run because I think it's the best part of the whole game, honestly.
But that doesn't have online.
No, it doesn't have online.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
It should. I wish it did.
Yeah, I'm not as enthused about Smash Run. I think it's okay. I don't think it's a terrible mode, but I only played it a few times. But then again, a lot of my time was dominated by just playing my friends in the online mode. And if that had been online, maybe I would have played it a lot more. But yeah.
I was going to say, I guess we'll talk about the Wii U version, and then we can kind of talk about whatever we like, dislike, favorite characters, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I guess I remember Smash 3DS came out, and then like 6 months later, something like that, then the Wii U version came out. So what was your first experience playing the Wii U version? Like, like differently?
I remember the day, because again, not too long ago, my girlfriend actually bought it for me, because I was living in the city at the time, and there was not like a really easy way. Yeah, so she brought it to me when she was coming over, and it was actually funny, because I played it a bunch, and she was trying to sleep, and so I played it, because the TV is in the same room as the bed, because it's a one-bedroom apartment. I put it on the gamepad and put my headphones in and like prop the gamepad up and use my GameCube controller. And I was playing it like on the little gamepad screen, but using a GameCube controller. Yeah, I mean, I had so much fun. It was great to have an actual like GameCube controller. I got the adapter, I believe, as soon as I had it. I don't know, maybe I got the adapter beforehand or the day of, I don't know. But I had the adapter and the GameCube controller, and just a lot of fun to have that. Really good to see it on the big screen. Cool that it is portable as well. There are customizable ways to play it. But overall, still pretty similar to the 3DS version. What about you for like the first time playing it?
Yeah, I actually remember I had like an exam the day after, or no, the day of the game coming out. And I bought it digitally. So I was like, you know what? I should be going to bed early. Probably should have studied for the exam, where I was like, screw it. I'm staying up till midnight to play the game. And that's what I did. I stayed up until... Actually, I had to stay up till like 1 in the morning because it took forever to download the freaking game because it was a pretty big file. It's like 8 or 9 gigabytes or something like that. And I played it, and I loved it. I wanted to play it for the whole night, but I only played it for like 30 minutes, and then I had to go to bed. But after that, for the following weeks, I played it more, and I realized, this is awesome, but I'm never going to play the 3DS one ever again.
Yeah, see,
that's that. I mean, it's so cool that there is a 3DS Smash Bros, but now I look back and just think, I just wish they just put all of their time into the Wii U version.
Yeah. So I guess we can start talking about like the Wii U versus the 3DS version. And the one thing, because the interesting thing, if you're watching this like way in the future and you don't remember, the thing was that they were released at different times, and the 3DS one was released first. It's a little bit of a different story if they were both released at the same time, but because they were released differently, I played the 3DS game months ahead, and then I felt like, all right, well, I'm not getting the complete experience until I play the Wii U version. But then when I played the Wii U version, I still felt like, well, I've already put like hundreds of hours into this, So it did have the unfortunate effect of being half of an experience one way and then half the other. I never. It wasn't like
experiencing the full game and not experiencing the full game. It was really weird.
Yeah, you got a taste, but then when you played it, you didn't get it new either. It's not like Brawl where I got it midnight and I just was like, all right, this is a brand new experience. It was like, here's a new experience, but I'm kind of waiting for the better experience. Oh, I got the better experience, but it's not the new experience anymore. So that did
Yeah.
kind of have an interesting effect on it. It was still a lot of fun to play, but I think that's one of the really interesting things about it. But at the same time, Nintendo got the money out of me both ways, so I'm sure it worked out better for them. And they got it on the 3DS when not a ton of people have a Wii U. What about, do you feel the same way about the releases like that?
I mean, I understand why the 3DS one came out first, because I think Nintendo knew that if they released the 3DS and the Wii U one on the same day, the 3DS would not sell nearly as well, because people would be like, oh, this is a portable version. Why would I buy that? I'm going to buy the home console version because it'll be more complete.
Well, I think it makes total sense because of the Wii U's low sales. Like, why would you buy that? Well, because you don't have a Wii U. But I wouldn't have bought both. You probably, I don't know, you probably wouldn't have bought both, right?
Oh, I would have bought both.
You would have bought
But that's me. I think a lot of people would have just got the Wii U version, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, I think it
3DS
definitely
version.
It definitely helped. I think the reason they delayed the Wii U version was probably wasn't ready. Like they probably
it
wouldn't
could be
have.
that too. Yeah.
But it did end up working out for them. But yeah, it does have that kind of unfortunate side effect. But you know, buying it today, you wouldn't know. The other unfortunate thing about splitting them up is that there are different stages, and you might think, oh well, that's a good thing because you get, you know, you're paying. If you're gonna buy the handheld version, if you already own the console version, you at least get new content, different content than you had. But the downside to that is that, say you want to play a stage that's on the 3DS version, but your friend has the Wii U version. Well, you don't get to play that stage anymore. Say you're like me and you basically retired the 3DS version when the Wii U version came out. Well, you're just going to miss out on a bunch of stages. Say you haven't played the game in years and you don't even remember which game had which stage, you know? Like, and you pick up the 3DS one and you're like, all right, oh, no, I sold my Wii U game, but, this one doesn't have... I would have liked, I think a lot of people would have liked a lot of the 3DS stages ported to the Wii U version, or at least sold as DLC, or given as a bonus to those who had both games. There were other ways to implement it, and I think it's unfortunate the way they did it.
Yeah, I remember playing the 3DS version, and I played, like the Rainbow Road stage. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like, I love that stage. And then I remembered, wait, I won't be able to play this on the Wii U version. Like, that really stinks. And obviously, it makes sense that they're going to have exclusive stages for each game, but it still kind of stinks that you can't cross-play if you own both of the titles, especially if you, like, pre-ordered both of them. I think it should have been a bonus, and then like if you didn't pre-order, you could pay like $5 for cross-play for the stages.
And there's a lot of different stages. We're not talking like, okay, each game has like 2 exclusive stages. No, like
half
most
the stages
of them
are different. Yeah.
And I also understand, we also understand that it's not as simple of just throwing the 3DS stage on the Wii U. Obviously, they could have just done that. It would have cost more development time to make the stages look good on the Wii U version and playable and all that. But it is unfortunate if you have a stage that you really like, PictoChat, and it's stuck on the 3DS version, you know, and so that does stink. And maybe fingers crossed that, you know, if something happens with the NX version, if that is a version that comes out or whatever, there's an updated re-release or whatever, a lot of people would be happy if the game had just all the stuff that both versions had. Not even adding anything else, but just all the DLC and all the stuff of both versions would be really cool.
I didn't even... Well, first off, you said NX, which I thought was funny.
Oh.
But second, no, that's actually a really good idea. I never thought of that before. I mean, actually, just recently there was a rumor... Oh god, another rumor. But anyway, there was a rumor that Smash Bros is just going to be ported to the Switch, which I think it's going to happen anyway, because it's still a pretty new game. I don't think they're going to make a new Smash anytime soon. So yeah, if they were to do that and they included all of the 3DS stages in, as well as the Wii U, into this version, that would be an insta-buy for me. I would love to...
Yeah, if they included like half the 3DS stages, if they included just a few, just like do all the DLC and just a few, yeah. Like, okay, so me and you are pretty diehard and would probably buy it no matter what for the Switch. But for a lot of people, if they just put the Wii U version up on the Switch, maybe with the DLC, they're not going to want to buy the game a third time, you know, or even a second time if they had it for the Wii U or the 3DS. But if they only had it for the Wii U and this new version comes out and it has 3DS content, then yeah, they might buy it. I might buy it. You know, I mean, I will buy it if it had the 3DS content just to play it on the big screen. Or I guess the little screen, as you do with the Switch, whichever Whichever you want.
Whichever you prefer. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's another thing, differences. Any other differences you want to talk about? I guess one thing we didn't really mention, the game looks really dang good on the 3DS for the 3DS.
For 3DS standards, it looks really, really great. I'm glad that you could include the outlines of the characters. That makes it so much easier to see what's going on. Yeah, nice touch.
Okay, so then there's we talked about the differences, but there's a lot of stuff that they added that we haven't touched on yet. There's customizable characters, custom moves. What do you think about those?
Custom moves, man, I was a huge fan of that idea. Basically because back in the day on YouTube, I made a prediction series about Smash 4, and I predicted, what if there were custom moves in the game? Ooh. And I just threw the idea out there. I had no idea they were actually going to do it. And I remember actually starting to unlock them. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And then realizing that, holy crap, it sucks unlocking these moves because there's no consistent way to do it. There's no method. You just play the game and hope a custom move pops up. It's completely random.
It's bizarre that they don't have it where just you play as villager, you only unlock villagers' custom moves. That's how it should be. That makes sense.
So much more sense. I don't know why you can't do that. Like, I've probably put in 100 hours just grinding out master orders. I think that's the easiest way to get the custom moves. I put in 100 hours grinding that out, trying to get them all because I wanted to make videos about all the custom moves, and I still don't have them all. There's 30 or maybe 20 or something, but there's still a decent amount I don't have, even with all the grinding.
For the record, I put in 273 hours in the Wii U version. And like I said before, 143 hours on 3DS version. And between those, I still don't have all those moves unlocked. It's silly. I think that ruined it, honestly, because nobody even talks about them now. I forgot they were in the game until you mentioned it. For me, they were definitely a good idea, and they're cool. It adds a little bit more gameplay. If you're playing around with your friends and you just want one more little weird wrinkle, you've played, you've already played a bunch of matches that night and you just want something weird and silly to do, then it's cool. It is cool. But yeah, I think definitely, especially because of the unlocking mechanic, they will forever remain just a little side note in Smash Bros. History and not a big main selling feature like it seemed like they might have been.
It's really too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, super unfortunate.
All they had to do was implement certain ways to unlock them. Like you said with Mario, put in an hour, or beat classic mode on normal mode, or
just have the same unlocks you have now. But again, you got to play as that character, and then at least that gives you a way to earn the ones, even if not all of them, but just the ones you want for your characters. But as it stands right now, it's just I got a random scattered selection.
Yeah, and I mean it would have made perfect sense, because if you have to play as this character a lot, it forces you to get experience with the character.
Yeah.
And as a reward, you get to unlock brand new custom moves that you can try out. Mm-hmm. So it just feels like a missed opportunity. But
so Amiibo. Amiibo was another big thing. Smash Bros. Was the Amiibo game. Both because it was the first line of Amiibo out there, and also because, honestly, to this day, it's probably the game that uses Amiibo the absolute most outside of the Animal Crossing game we shall not speak of.
And that's pretty sad, because Smash 4, it's an okay feature for Amiibo. You can kind of build your own character. But for $13, it's not worth it just for that reason. It's worth it if you like what the figure looks like. That's the only reason I have a bunch. I know you have a bunch of Amiibo as well.
Oh, I do. I have a ton. But yeah, it's because I like the figures. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of this similar spot as the customizable movesets, because it's cool. It's definitely cool. It's fun to mess around with, to train up one, to use it as a partner against someone else who has one, to, I see people that name theirs, pizza, Chinese food, and sushi, whatever, and then they'll fight them, and then whichever one wins, that's the food they'll have the night. There's been a lot of fun that has been had with them, but at the same time, it's not a real selling point. It's not something that's a household thing. For me, what limited it for me, and I can't speak for anyone else, is the fact that I can't take them online to play with my friends online, because all the matches that I play multiplayer, almost all of them, I play online with my friends that live far away. And so the features of this game that I can play are the ones that are online. And fortunately, customizable features, those are online. But Amiibo support, not online. And that to this day, I don't understand why, because I would love to tag team battle some of my friends. Me and my me and my Luigi would kill Nate and his lame Star Fox or whoever.
Hey.
His custom pink gold Peach could go down easy.
Oh God.
No, but so what do you feel about Amiibo? What do you think held them back, or do you think?
I don't really care much for Amiibo anymore. Like I still kind of collect them, not as frequently as I used to. I used to get like a few a month. Like now I have so many, it's like I have most of the ones that I want. It is a cool idea, but honestly, is Nintendo needing money? That's what it was. They knew if they make figures, official figures that they made, they were going to sell incredibly well. Like there are more Amiibo sold than Wii U consoles sold.
Oh yeah. Well, Amiibo are also cheaper, but yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot. Well, I mean, it still shows that Amiibo were. I think they still will be incredibly successful because they're going to continue making them for quite a while. They have some coming up for Breath of the Wild. There's the new Mario Series 2 that just came out.
There's probably more Princess Animal Crossing. One. Yeah.
Yep, Twilight Princess.
Yeah, I like Amiibo as collectibles, but in terms of Smash Bros. Specifically, yeah, I think they're fun to mess around with, but I feel like I've seen as much as I've seen. I have a ton of Amiibo, and I've registered like probably 4 of them. Like, you know,
I mean, you don't buy Amiibo to actually use them. It's just for show, really.
But I think it's a fun thing to mess around with. It's a cool kind of like proof of concept of like, okay, you can do something with these Amiibo. You can save profiles on them, but like, unfortunately, not many other games have really done much of anything else beyond that, which is again sad, because like, oh, here you can use it as a piece in Mario Party. Great, gotta slam it on my gamepad every 5 seconds. Not that I even have that Mario Party, but that's what I've heard.
Yep, that's what you do for one of the modes.
Another concept that was new to the Smash Bros. Was boss battles.
Well, they had boss battles in Brawl.
And in stages, just in regular stages.
Oh yeah, okay.
The bosses as a core part of stages.
Bosses, yeah.
Yes, sorry, my bad. Yeah, I don't like this feature at all, and I don't think many people do. This was awful. No. Cool idea, really cool idea.
Executed horribly.
Yes. As soon as I don't even know if this counts as a boss, but on the 3DS version, the stupid on the Earthbound stage, the little bird things, whoever tags that thing in, man, auto win button, just auto win.
The Yellow Devil and the Mega Man stage. It's really a shame that you couldn't turn off the stage bosses, because some of the stages that the bosses are in are actually pretty good, but like, when Ridley shows up on Pyrosphere or, again, Yellow Devil on the Mega Man stage, it just completely ruins it. It doesn't make it any fun at all.
They take up too much of the stage. They respawn almost instantly.
They're way too distracting. Yeah. Like, if they were very, very minor, only showed up, like, every 5 minutes or something like that, and it was only for a few seconds, that would have been fine, but...
Yeah.
I feel like it was just Sakurai experimenting more, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But it's too bad we didn't have the ability to turn off the stage bosses.
That's how I feel, and that's what I think was the weirdest thing of all, because Smash Bros. Has been known to have so many settings. You can customize the game so many different ways, and yet, for some reason, you can't turn this off. I don't know, because like the Yellow Devil takes up half the Mega Man stage, and you beat him, and then he's just right back. Who thought it would be a good idea, to have bosses that insta respawn? Is that how video games work? You beat a boss and you just bam, he's right back in your face. Like, apparently. No, it would be so cool to have them be rare encounters where you have to play the stage like 5 times to see it even once. That would be cool.
That would have been fine.
Mm-hmm. But to have it be so intrusive, to have there be no option to turn it off, it's just bad. I think my favorite of them is Twin Rova on the 3DS. I think the only other 3DS boss on the Zelda stage was cool because they kind of fly above the action and they only affect things every so often. They don't really come down and do anything for the most part. But even that's still kind of annoying. And then I guess since we talked about Smash Run, we should talk about, what's it even called?
Smash Tour?
Yes.
It's bad. That's all I gotta say. It's bad.
Yeah. For some reason, Sakurai thought it'd be a good idea. Here's this board game mode where they don't explain the rules. It doesn't make any sense, and it's just an insane throw everything at you all at once in some insane bid for your attention. It doesn't make any sense. It's awful.
Way too complicated. Like, they do have rules, but even then, like, it moves too quickly. You have no idea what's going on. Random things happen, and I like kind of like the idea how you can build up fighters, and at the end you kind of have them all in stock, and you can see who wins. Well, that was really cool. That should have just been like a game mode in the normal game.
I would love. I've been asking for years for them to do a Smash mode where you have 5 stock, but each stock is a different character. That character dies, you get a different character. That makes sense. That's cool, and that is in there.
Actually, honestly, that would be really cool for even like competitive Smash, because I do enjoy watching it. And now that I think about it, like, there could be so much strategy with people maining a bunch of different characters.
Yeah.
And, like, if someone mains like 5 or like 3 or 4 different characters, he uses them, for the first 2 stocks, and then, or maybe like the last 2 stocks, and the other player has to try to strategize with what characters he'll be playing at what time.
Who do you lead with? Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be great, and that is what they do. But you have to play through just the most insane board game in the world, and like, good luck trying to play it with someone who's never played it before. To try to just get a friend over. Like, to get a friend over to play like Smash Bros is fine, because it's like, okay, A is punch and B is special moves and whatever, just mash buttons, and you'll still have a good time even if you don't know how to play. But this mode, try explaining that to someone. Try getting someone over and be like, all right, well, we're gonna play this board game. You roll the die, you move. Every space something happens to your character. There's like weird mini games.
Basically, this thing happens, that happens, and this happens, and then you fight at the end. That's the game.
Yeah, and this is something that takes up a giant slot on the main page there.
Yeah, because we're totally just gonna play this game all of the time.
Also not online. Just throwing that out there. Yeah,
that's fine. It's not worthy to be online.
No, it really isn't.
Me.
I mean, I'm not like crazy about Smash Run, but it's like leaps and bounds. It had a lot more intelligent design behind it than this just nonsense. I mean, even like the idea of a board game in Smash Bros isn't even a bad idea. Like, I'd play Mario Party, but every mini game was a Smash Bros round. That'd be cool. But it's too much. It's too much. And you need to play it to unlock certain things if you're trying to unlock everything, which is stupid.
Yep.
So, alright, so what did you, outside of the things we've talked about, I guess what's your favorite stage and character?
Favorite stage? Honestly, it's really hard to think off the top of my head. What I do love about the game is that you can have Omega versions of every stage. So, like, if there's a particular stage you don't like at all, like the Great Cave Offensive or 75M, but you like the design, you like the music, you can play the Omega stage. And it's just a simple platform like Final Destination. In terms of characters, I still like Rob. I started to get back into Fox. I play as Shulk for fun. And Corrin, of course. I love Corrin. What about you?
Well, I'm still a Toon Link guy. But a character that I played as a lot for for a while, Duck Hunt Dog. I played a mean Duck Hunt Dog. You couldn't get a word in edgewise when I played as Duck Hunt Dog.
I remember when we first started playing Smash together, you still played as Duck Hunt.
Yeah. Nowadays, honestly, I just shuffle. I just play a lot of different characters, especially the DLC, but really only because they're just newer. I've had less time with each of them. Mewtwo is fun. I'm not like good with Mewtwo at all, but he's just a fun character to play as. And I like Ike too. I don't know. I like he does really cool.
Yeah, with 58 characters, it's hard to pick favorites because there's so many to like.
As far as stages, I'm trying to think here. I'm looking at the list. Great Cave Offensive is definitely not one of my favorite stages.
Okay, you almost scared me there.
Yeah, no. They did a really good job with what's it called? The one you mentioned for Melee, the Mario Sunshine one.
Delfino Plaza.
Delfino Plaza looks back. That one looks really good in this game. I actually like all, well, not all, because 75M is back for inexplicable reasons. But like Congo Jungle and the DLC stages that they brought back, those are all really fun. Oh, the Mario Maker stage is probably my favorite. To be completely honest with you,
really,
it's just such a cool stage. It can come up with some stinkers in like walk off territory, but it's just a really fun stage.
I love the idea behind the stage, but there have been so many times where I die because the stage changed.
Nate's just salty because I kick him to the curb every time we play that.
Well, you're a lot better at Smash 4 than I am.
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think they did a really good job with the DLC stages.
Yeah, for the most part, they were really well done, especially like Bayonetta stage. That one, probably my favorite.
And I like the Mario stage coming back, the first one.
Yes.
Not the lame unlockable one, but the cool one. With the bumper at the top. And it was cool to have Dreamland because, I mean, yes, you could make everything Battlefield, but to have just a nice little 3-platform stage that wasn't
Final Destination or Battlefield.
Yeah. One that wasn't Battlefield, that had just a little gimmick of like the wind blowing. Really cool to see that back. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. But also, moving on to stuff we don't like, much like Brawl, there's a number of stages on here that are just awful. Pac-Land is like the worst. The worst! The idea is, okay, we're going to have Pac-Land, but it's going to look exactly like the game did on whatever system that was of ancient year. But, like, it just looks like literal garbage. It looks
bad. And
it plays awful because it's a stupid walk-off that scrolls. And at one point, you don't even know where the floor is because it's all just green. Like, it's just, not good. No good.
The problem with scrolling stages in general is that they move way too fast. Like, I think Mushroomy Kingdom and probably not Pac-Land, but maybe Mushroomy Kingdom could have been okay if the stage didn't move so dang fast. Like, if it was at a nice slow pace, I think it could have been okay. Not great, but okay.
Another stage I really don't like is Orbital Gate Assault. It looks beautiful. It looks amazing, but there are parts where, like, parts of the stage fall away, and I've died so many times from that. Just because I don't know exactly where to stand. And I've memorized it now, but that was so frustrating for a long time. And again, they focused on making it look good, which is cool, but not great. A stage that I like, just one of the newer ones, since I said a lot of the old ones. I like Gamer. That's the one where your mom comes in and tries to spot you.
That one's a fun stage.
Yeah, it's got a gimmick, but it's not too intrusive. And it's not too hard to dodge. But yeah, in terms of disliking, anything... We talked about certain aspects we dislike, but anything in terms of stages or characters or anything?
I mean, I wouldn't say the stages were that bad this time around compared to some of the ones in Brawl, but there were definitely a lot of, like, forgettable or unmemorable stages. And it was also kind of disappointing that there actually weren't that many new stages. It felt like a lot of them were just brought back from Brawl.
Yeah.
Which isn't... Like, it's not that big a deal because, most of the stages they brought back were good aside from 75M. But it's still kind of disappointing because I think they brought back so many stages because they just didn't have the time to make new ones.
It's because of the 3DS split.
Yeah, exactly.
If you add in the 3DS ones, it's a really nice looking lineup. I mean, with some stinkers in there. But yeah, I mean, like, you take out stuff like Pac-Land, Palutena's Temple, the Great Cave Offensive, other stuff like walk-offs like Wii Fit Studio. You take away a lot of those, and what do you have? Not too many stages. Like Flat Zone is obnoxious. Flat Zone X, which is
that's just Flat Zone 1 and 2 combined. It's not even a new stage.
But it's considered a new stage. But yeah, exactly. As much as I do like the ones that are brought back, typically I like the ones from, like, the first game that were brought back. I think one of the things is that they got a little bit too crazy with design of stages. I don't like playing on Battlefield. I mean, it's okay, but I like playing on a stage with some gimmick, but not...
Some excitement, yeah.
Not too insane a gimmick. Not Great Cave Offensive. That was a cool experiment, I guess, but playing it is just... It's a nightmare.
You don't play it. You're not fighting characters. You're fighting the stage.
You're not. You're fighting your own boredom, your own patience.
Like, you touch the lava and or if you touch lava above 100%, you die. There's, like, railroad carts. There's ladders. There's fire. It's a disaster. I could talk for 30 minutes why that stage is bad.
One other thing I don't like about the game, and we have listed a good amount of things. I don't like that you can't. Again, I wanted more options in online play. Why can I not do a special Brawl online?
Yeah.
That's my question. That's true. And I think that's silly, because that's a very little thing. It might just
be server issues, perhaps. They just didn't have that much room, or they didn't want to invest money for a server. Maybe it might have just been they wanted to reduce the lag as much as possible.
Maybe.
Possibly.
But, like,
I'm not sure.
I don't know. You can do it on tournaments if you make a special tournament and you do all this and that. You can.
That's true.
I don't know, but I think that was kind of just a missed opportunity. Not like a huge failing on them, but for me personally, I lost a lot.
And another thing that was a little disappointing about Smash 4 for me was the stage builder. Which is interesting because I remember when they showed it off and, you can actually literally draw anything you want. I thought, wow, this is exactly what they needed to do with Stage Builder. And then you try it and you realize it's more limited than Brawl's version. Like, you don't have, you can't draw that much. They didn't give you very much to draw. Like, you can only, I can't talk because I'm so disappointed.
The good thing, I mean, it was a good use of the gamepad. The drawing wasn't, okay, so the drawing wasn't perfect because you couldn't, there was like, no shortcuts. It was just literally just draw it. But then I think the problem was that they didn't have the set pieces that Brawl had. People complained about Brawl because Brawl didn't have enough set pieces, and I agree. But at least Brawl had like more than the new Smash does, or I think, I don't know. But either way,
I would rather build stages with Brawl instead of this game. Honestly, like you can do more with Brawl, which is pretty sad because you can literally draw anything you want in this version, but yet it's more limited. Tell me how that makes any sense at all.
because you need more to make a good Smash stage. You need more than just here's a platform shaped like a potato. You need like crazy stuff, like cool stuff. Like in Brawls, you could actually like put in like pre-made area, basically. Like here's a ladder with a thing that you jump off of or whatever. But in this one, they had like, okay, you could use a barrel. You could use a springboard.
And the lava.
Not much else.
Yeah, there was only like 5 or 6 unique assets. And then in Brawl, there was so much. Like there were like 10 or 11 interesting assets you could use. And like you said, there was a bunch of like the pre-made buildings you could add in.
Well, what's sad is that one of the criticisms of Brawls was that they didn't have elements from specific stages. Like it'd be cool if you could take like, okay, so the tree from the Kirby stage, like the tree that blows, put him just wherever you want in your custom stage. Add that as an asset. That was a disappointment in Brawl, and an even bigger disappointment in Smash 3DS. Like, give us specific tool sets. Give us the ability to make any stage, any custom stage like the gamer stage. Like, add that tag where if you want, you can make it so that if you're not standing behind something, you get caught by mom. You could do so much with it, and it was just... Clearly, that was not a focus because they wanted to care about custom moves and Amiibo and Smash Tour and like all this other stuff that ended up being kind of a little bit at least of a flop. And yet, this was huge missed potential.
It's really disappointing because I think they could have a lot of these things we've complained about. I think they could have been fixed if the 3DS version didn't exist because again, they had to focus their time on 2 games at once. So.
Probably.
It almost feels like the Wii U version is almost like lackluster on content. Like, obviously, there's a lot of stuff in here, but if you really boil down to it, even like the extra modes are just different variations of matches. And, without an actual adventure mode, with Stage Builder lacking in content, it just really, even like they got rid of Target Test, a classic mode. Now there's Angry Birds Test. It just feels like so much was stripped out, and it's kind of disappointing. Like, I prefer playing Smash because of all the content it has, but Smash 4 doesn't really have that, and maybe that's why it's not my favorite. Like, the core game is great, but...
Yeah, the thing is, I think the focus was there on making a great core game and a lot of characters, and they definitely achieved that.
That's important that they got that. They nailed that.
Well, speaking of stuff that they didn't have, Subspace Emissary. So the whole controversy, as we alluded to before, Sakurai didn't like that people had uploaded his clips of the Subspace Emissary to YouTube because he felt that those were the reward for playing the game. Which, honestly, I agree with him. I think that is definitely an example of YouTubers taking away something that's kind of special about the game and putting it out of context, and you're just instant gratification when it was supposed to be a reward. I agree with that, but the thing is, Sakurai decided because of that was what he said anyway, or what according to interviews, that was the reason why he didn't have another Subspace Emissary in this game. That's why we got the stupid Smash Tour.
And that's why it's so lame. You know what's funny is that Smash 3DS, everything about the game was leaked like 3 months, or I'd say maybe like a month or so before it even came out. So it didn't matter. The whole games get leaked all the time. Pokemon Sun and Moon, that whole game has been leaked already. And obviously, if you're watching this like a few months after this has been released, Pokemon Sun and Moon at this point in time is coming out in about a week or so. Whole game's been leaked. Like, it happens for a lot of games. So his excuse is inexcusable to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm with him on thinking that that's really lame and that probably shouldn't be done. But you're not gonna be able to stop people, and
Yeah.
that's no reason to exclude a mode. Like, even if you're upset about that, just have the adventure mode without the crazy cutscenes. Fine, there you go. You took them away, Sakurai. Good. I mean, I don't know. For all I know, maybe that's just what they said, but the real reason is just that they wanted to work on other modes. I don't know, but it is
maybe. Yeah.
It is noticeable that that they had that and then they didn't in this one. So yeah, and like you said, a lot of the more experimental aspects, like the weird Angry Birds thing, and they kind of took away some of the classic stuff. It's a little weird, and it is
even
a little.
The classic mode isn't even that great. It doesn't feel like classic mode anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
and All Stars
they made it too random.
And All Stars, unfortunately, because the roster is so big, which is a good thing. Because of that, it makes All Stars kind of a pain in the butt because there's so many characters to play against. Good luck getting some of those achievements.
Yeah, seriously. And like as DLC characters were added, they added those to the All-Star mode. I realized that. So it just made it harder and harder to do.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess. And then just really quickly, we did mention it, but just to touch on, this was the first with DLC, and that was really cool. I thought that was really cool, and it was an awesome way to keep the game alive. So overall, since we did talk about these two games a lot, do you have any kind of final thoughts on the two games?
Well, I'm definitely pleased with both of the games and how they turned out in the end. I still think that Melee is my favorite just because I prefer the engines a little bit more. I do feel that the Smash 4 game, the core game, is more balanced than Melee. I think that's pretty obvious. But yeah, I really like Smash 4. It's a very solid game. One of the best on the Wii U. What about you?
Yeah, in terms of Smash 4, we talked about it a lot, and there's a lot of interesting things to say. Ultimately, I played it for hundreds of hours, and it's because the online they got it. Not every mode was there on online, unfortunately, but they nailed it, and that's what I played a ton of. It stinks that they missed out on good opportunities with custom stage building. It stinks that the custom moves were kind of underutilized. It stinks that a lot of these things are unfortunate, but at the end of the day, Smash Bros. As a core experience, bringing that online was huge and amazing, and that's why I played it for hours and hours. And especially with the DLC, adding new characters, having tons of characters to play with, having a good amount of stages. It's up there in my top 2 Wii U games. It's close up there with Splatoon, but I've played it more than Splatoon, to be fair. So yeah.
All right. So thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you, Pie Guy, for joining me for today's pretty long retrospective.
Thanks for having me.
And if you'd like to check out Pie Guy's channel, he makes a lot of cartoon stuff. What kind of stuff are you working on currently?
Oh man, more SpongeBob seasons. SpongeBob season 9 is the big thing.
Yep. If you didn't know, Pie Guy actually reviews every episode of SpongeBob. He currently has videos of season 1 through 8 right now. So if you like SpongeBob, definitely make sure to check out some of those. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment.
Yep.
Let us know if you'd like us to do more discussions, more retrospectives like this.
And if you like hearing Nate and you like my channel, Nate comes over and does some discussions on mine about SpongeBob. So yeah, check those out. Definitely. If you like this format, it's very similar.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram as well. We post stuff about our videos all the time. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you later.
PIEGUYRULZ, out.